When it comes to running, the little things do matter, especially if you do run long distances. And I think an area that often gets neglected is your feet. And I can tell you, with all the runners at retreat, that a lot of people have messed up feet and they have very poor awareness of their feet. So it's really important to make sure that you do things on a day-to-day basis to give some TLC to those feet and toes because they do, after all, help you travel through distance and do the things that you love to do. So I'm going to go through a quick routine. It's now 5:15 in the morning, getting ready for our 11-mile run over at Fleet Feet in Durham. So I'm going to show you a couple things that I do in the morning while having coffee to get my toes and feet ready for some action later. But again, we're really good at putting distance on and tracking our metrics for our speed work and our heart rate and our nutrition. But I think it's the little things that do add up that can really make a difference in your performance and also your longevity in the sport. Because people with plantar fasciitis, for example, Achilles issues, big toe issues, these are areas that I think if you were to work on your toes a little bit every day, you could really make a difference and impact on how you run for the next 20, 30 years. Okay, so here we are. I'm having my coffee while filming this and doing these little toe exercises. So I got my yoga toes on and I am a huge fan of these. Whether or not you have issues at your feet, I think maintaining the dexterity of your toes and also the pliability or mobility of your toes is really critical and I think can prevent a lot of issues down the line if you can just spend a little bit of time each day. And for me, it's minutes in the morning, but I just do exercises like this throughout the day, even without my yoga toes. So I'll do these exercises in my shoes. I tend to have wider toe box shoes so I can actually do these exercises. But with the yoga toes on, what I'll often do is just practice squeezing and releasing, squeezing and releasing. And I'll do this for about a minute. And depending on the day or how much time I have in the morning, I'll do a couple rounds of this. Okay, because you want to practice getting all those muscles, those little guys, activated. And from here, I'll practice kind of going up and down. Again, nice, easy stuff that we're trying to do here, just to bring awareness to those areas. And then with that on, I'll actually go into some heel raises. Again, nothing crazy here, as you can see, but just bringing some awareness to those areas that are going to take on some impact later this morning. So do that for about a minute or so. And then I'll take these guys off. Oh, that feels good. If you've ever worn retainers before, it's exactly what it feels like when you take those guys off. I also walk around with those yoga toes on too, by the way, just to kind of feel how my toes should feel if they're spread apart. Now, if you notice, I have some decent space between my toes, and I'll tell you about 4 years ago, I could not do that. So if you haven't done this before, don't get frustrated because it is a process. It's actually more the intention of trying to do this that's going to be the most helpful over time because those muscles between the toes, and there are many layers, several layers to the foot, they haven't been worked if you're not doing this. So here's one exercise I'll do. I'll actually keep the big toe down, spread the other toes out, bring them in, spread them out, bring them in. Again, for about an easy minute or so. And then from here, what I'll do is I'll try to keep my big toe and my little toe down and just lift the middle three. Right? You almost feel like an arch forming under your foot, or doming the foot, we call it. Okay. Then I'll practice keeping that big toe down, again, spreading the other ones out. And then what I'll do is go from here, just keep the big toe going up and down. And you might be surprised how many people can't do this. Now, I'll also here go from trying to go basically one toe up and down. This is really hard. I'm not a master at this quite yet. To be honest, it took me a while to even get to this place. So this is a work in progress. And there are people out there who can do this way better than I can. But anyway, that's my little toe routine, just to get my feet and toes ready before I put on my socks and my gear to get out there. But making sure that you spend some time with your feet and your toes just like this. Again, as you can see in the video, only takes a few minutes to get them prepped and ready. But doing this over time, and even doing this throughout the day with your shoes on or at work, if you can take your shoes off and just spread your toes out a little bit, or get the right kinds of shoes where you do have enough room in your toe box to be able to do this, you're going to have a much better experience, and your feet are going to have a lot better dexterity, awareness, which is really important. Balance is going to improve. I can tell you right now that most of our ultra runners that we treat cannot stand on one foot with their shoes off, and it's probably because they are wearing cushioned shoes all day long or for miles and miles and miles at a time each week. So practicing these things barefoot and getting used to your foot being barefoot and walking around doing exercises with the bare feet, really important as far as keeping your foot hygiene in check so that you can continue running for the rest of your life. And I know that running is really important for a lot of you out there who are training for different races, and it's part of who you are. So making sure that you don't neglect the small details like working on your feet is going to be an important way to keep your longevity in this sport going. If that was helpful for you, please subscribe and share this, and leave a note in the comments, because I want to know what you do to keep your toes and your feet in good health and fitness, if you will, so that we can share that knowledge with other runners who also are looking to keep their feet in check as they continue to do what they love.